This is another episode of the Weekly InSalt. My name is Wade. I'm here with Laura.
Hello, hello.
Hey. I'm here with Ches.
Hello.
And Kurt. We're all in studio.
I'm here too.
Kurt's back.
Yeah, Kurt's back.
And this is episode 328, by the way.
It is, yeah. That's true. I would have breezed right over that. Wasn't thinking about the episode number at all. Well, you know what I was thinking about is that crows are pretty smart. And so I was watching this video earlier today, and it was a lady that was giving a demo with a crow that they've trained it to go pick up cans and put it in a recycle bin. And
Really?
then, they give it food. So obviously it's like trained very specifically to show this off. And she mentioned at the end, she said, crows have about the intelligence level of a 2 to 3 year old, but they also have just like pliers as a face. Because they're super strong. I'm like, that's an interesting way of describing a crow. So, like, I don't know. Do you want a 2 or 3 year old running around with pliers?
No.
As their face? No. But I guess it's a common problem that crows when they seek humans for help, then they're smart enough to understand they don't need to fend for themselves. So usually that's when they get kind of like bears. If you feed a bear, it knows, I'll just come back and get the food where I got it last time. And that becomes a problem because bears don't get along with humans very well.
No.
And I'm not talking about the bears that you see at like Bear World.
Not Yogi.
Cute. Not Yogi Bear either. Yeah.
Or Chicago.
Yeah. Nice. Dude, what happened last week is, I think, a perfect example of why people all trying to think together is a bad idea.
Yeah.
So I felt these explosions that happened last week. Did you film them?
No.
I didn't film or hear
You didn't film. You didn't film.
Nope.
And I'm in Sandy.
Mm-hmm.
You're like kind
West
of
Jordan.
West Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Kurt, I don't know if you felt them at all.
I did not.
You're in Midvale. So since Lara's here, I was taking a poop. We'll make it all about poop already. No, and I just felt the closest way I can describe it is it felt like the aftershock, the big aftershock of the last earthquake we had, where
rumbly.
like it didn't really rumble. It just all of a sudden like my house creaked and like you could tell it was like, yeah, this isn't good, and it scared me. And I was like, okay, what could that be? And then it happened again, and I'm like, oh, okay, so this is obviously some type of explosion.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like an explosion. And then I instantly just thought like Camp Williams. I did get onto like the USGS website to see like, well, I don't know, maybe it was an earthquake, and they can report earthquakes instantly.
Yeah,
so
they can.
It wasn't there. And I know that at this point I'm probably not the only one because I looked out my front window and all the neighbors were outside.
Yeah, thinking of the same thing.
Trying to figure out what's going on, And this is where having the internet is a really good thing and a really bad thing, because I was like, there's one place that's always quicker to have everything on it than any other place on the internet, and that's Reddit.
Right.
First place everybody goes is Reddit. So I got on there, and there was a thread for this, and it was 400 people had already commented, and it was just them all commenting where they were in the valley and if they felt it. And there was tons of people, so obviously hundreds of people had felt it, and I'm like, cool. But then it starts getting into the people who like have something to prove. I don't know what it is they have to prove, but there was a guy that's like, I've lived here my whole life and I've never heard anything come from Camp Williams. It's like,
and
I've lived here my whole life and I have heard.
Okay, you still didn't hear it come from Camp Williams because it wasn't from Camp Williams.
See, and that's the thing is that. Now you got somebody that comes on behind him and says they never do this at Camp Williams. This got to be something with the Army Depot, like Tooele Army Depot. And then this goes on. I'm watching this, just like watching this thread slowly fall apart into the rumor mill. And then all of a sudden it was, no, I've seen the news lately in the Middle East, like this, we're definitely under attack.
Oh,
and
my
it's
goodness.
Like, okay, wait a second. You realize that you're completely insane saying that because you live in Utah. I don't know if you forgot about that. Yeah. Nobody's going out of their way like North Korea's not like, fuck Utah today, dude.
We hate Utah.
They were pager or walkie-talkie bombs.
Yeah. Which, oh my gosh.
That's another subject.
We can get into that, but and like after the first few, I'm like, okay, I know it's just going to happen for a little bit. It'll go away. No big deal. It definitely was like, I'm like, whatever it is must be a huge explosion if I can feel it all the way from wherever it's at. But then I'm watching this slowly degrade into people start arguing now. And now the panickers come in and they say, oh, I live in Sandy. There's tons of sirens everywhere. And then and so now people are like, is it a bomb that went off in Santa? Now all of a sudden people's minds are going crazy, right?
Sorry, person Sandy, somebody just got pulled over by the cops.
Yeah, and then there's a guy like, oh, I'm on the police scanner right now, and they can't figure it out either. And so now they're like, there's the guy that runs in after that comment is like, well, if the police can't figure it out, it must be an emergency. And then this panic ensues with these people sitting at home on their computers, on their phones.
Right. Instead of taking cover, I don't know.
Instead
what would
of
you
just
do?
like, you just gotta wait. I mean, even if there was a bomb, what are you gonna do? Like,
right.
leave?
It's already blown up.
Okay, we have an Air Force bombing range, the Twilley Armo
Two
Depot.
of them. 2 Air Force bombing ranges. We've got the North one and then Dugway.
Yeah, so then you got the Army Depot.
The Army Depot, Camp
the
Williams
Twilla,
Artillery.
and you got Camp Williams. They do all that stuff. So to me, it would just be like,
that's what I thought. I'm like, it's
one of
something
them's
with
doing something,
the Army's doing
whatever.
something. Yeah, and I was like, and I think somebody got on there and actually made the most sense. Is they were like, I remember when they were testing the Moab when we were at war with Iraq and Afghanistan, and he's like, you could hear those in the valley all the time, when you were testing them. And I'm like, yeah, I do kind of remember some of that. But I was young.
For those of you, Moab is mother of all bombs.
Yes, it's huge. It's a big, huge bomb.
Not the place.
No.
Yeah, they were dropping bombs in Moab to make better rocks for the people who enjoy adventures that aren't on pavement.
No, they just got the uranium for the bombs from Moab, so.
Yeah, that's true.
So
there are a lot of uranium mines down there.
The other funny place to read that kind of stuff is the Ring app.
Oh, yeah, or like
The neighbor.
Next Door.
Yeah.
I didn't get on that because I was having too much entertainment on Reddit. And then it gets even more fun because then the news broke the story. The sounds you were just hearing, we've confirmed with the Twilla Army Depot that they were detonating munitions that are old to get rid of them, And I think it was like 6 or 7 booms that you could hear. Oh, man, and I was like, this is the best part of my day. I'm going straight back to Reddit. Somebody had posted the news article, and the first comment was, I live in Twilla, and I didn't hear anything, so this is obviously them covering something up. And it's like, oh, my gosh. Now I understand why our country's in the state that it's in. Because you can't, even when you get the definitive answer, you can't trust the source.
Right.
And then this person on the internet starts this rumor because they don't believe it. Somebody else out there is going to find that and be like, I kind of thought that too, and I think this person's right now. Hence, election year. Just I'm not going to get into politics, but let's just say, if you're wondering how we got to where we are now, that was a really quick, condensed version of something that can happen over a long time. It just happened with boom noises in the Salt Lake Valley.
Right.
Yeah.
Now imagine that on a national level. It gets much worse.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're saying it probably had to do with the increased moisture in the air and the lack of cloud cover.
Yeah, it was
help
pretty
amplify the
clear.
sound. So,
Yeah, it was sweet. It was cool. It was a cool sound, but I could tell my neighbors were like, "Whoa, shit!" And they're all looking at the sky like they're gonna see a big plume of smoke or something.
Didn't you say you were standing outside when one of them
I was
blew
in
your
my
shirt?
doorway and I could feel the pressure wave blew my shirt back into my house, and I'm like, "Yeah, that's an explosion."
so now about what time did
Pressure.
these happen?
It was around like noon. I think
Okay.
it was noon on like last. I think was it Tuesday? I don't remember the day.
It was the day I went to the vet, so yeah.
Was it you went on Tuesday?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Tuesday. It was around noon, and like I don't know, maybe I've just watched enough like videos of war that I understand what a bomb sounds like in the distance, But
Okay, it was Thursday.
Oh, it was Thursday.
Thursday. Wow.
Oh, wow. We were way wrong.
I thought that was earlier in the week. Oh, I guess a lot happened over the weekend.
Yeah, and I was out by the airport.
You didn't hear anything.
I didn't hear him.
Yeah, and you would think that, like, how did we hear him up here over the mountain?
Yeah.
But who knows? Shockwaves are weird. I'm not an expert on how shockwaves travel, but it was definitely a pressure shockwave. Now, think about this, too. Now, imagine that you live somewhere like Ukraine or Israel or the Gaza Strip, if you can even live there. Imagine that's just your life every day. Like, another bomb, In Israel, there's videos you can watch where their Iron Dome system, which protects them from the random missiles that everybody shoots at them all the time, it intercepts those missiles so nobody gets hurt. Every now and then it doesn't. But the alarms go off, and there's people walking around just going about their day.
Yeah.
Like, if I get hit by this missile, then whatever. I guess it's fate.
Yeah.
But could you imagine that just daily,
No.
every day, just bombs going off, middle of the night, you feel that boom, and you're like, okay, I wonder where that
you
hit.
become desensitized to it, and you just sleep right through it.
It was crazy. If that would have happened at night, it probably would have instilled like twice as much panic, And then now you're going to get the people that are going to be like, well, they shouldn't be doing that, and like how come they're doing it so close to the city, and like
They're not.
too bad, dude.
Yeah.
They moved that thing way out there, and you guys are building closer and closer to it. Like the people that live by Camp Williams that found unexploded mortar rounds in their backyard.
Yep.
Why'd you buy the house there?
Or back in the day with the when the Holiday Gun Club was still around.
Oh yeah,
All the people that then built up there in Olympus Cove.
they're all mad at the gun club.
When it was the gun club's been closed for a number of years now, but they were complaining about the noise from the gun club that they built their house around. You know what? I'd say, fuck you.
Dang, we got Chez's
Wow.
reaction today.
What do you expect when you build next to a gun range?
It's fair, and like the people
Or on a sandy mountain.
You should see what I call the north point of the mountain. It's like both point of the mountains look the same. The north one, they are actively still digging out that mountain, and there's people's houses right on the edge of that thing.
I know, it's crazy.
And they're those multi-million-dollar houses. You just get to smell the refinery. I think we mentioned it on a previous episode, but that's crazy to me. And it was crazy to me to see how quickly, before the news even had anything, how quickly people just fall into a panic, you know? I mean, I don't even think that happened that fast with COVID. We did eventually get there.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like right off the bat.
I knew people that right off the bat, everyone was like, yeah, we're all going to die. And I was like, you know what? Fuck that. Nothing bad's going to happen.
In all fairness, we did look up statistics on plagues the other night.
Yeah, we did.
Remember that? Because we were wondering if the bubonic plague was worse. And as far as like if you just look at death numbers, dude, COVID-19 is insane. You know what I mean?
But
the bubonic plague, arguably much worse.
Absolutely.
Of a outbreak,
I disagree with that on the COVID. 100%. I know nobody that died from COVID, let alone with COVID.
I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know anybody? You know somebody who died from COVID?
Yeah.
100% only condition they had.
I mean, I wasn't at the hospital, but they got COVID and died. So, but also at the same time, well, see, now you're being a conspiracy
No, let me ask you a question. No, let me ask one question.
They probably did not put COVID on his death certificate. No,
I'm not saying that. But would they have died if they had gotten a bad cough or a cold or the flu?
I know, because they had been sick before and recovered.
Did they have comorbidities with their COVID?
I'm sure everybody does, because COVID causes problem with your lungs. So you could say that you died from a lack of oxygen,
right?
And that's not COVID, right?
But yeah, so I say those numbers are totally skewed.
I mean, it's in all fairness, when the Black Plague was going around, I doubt they probably had some skewed numbers too,
But no, I'd say the plague was definitely worse.
I think that I would not like to have either of them
Me
back.
either.
Exactly. I'd say that's only because
We got you all fired up.
Damn.
I like it.
the medical advances weren't there during the Black Plague.
Yeah, that was crazy, because we were reading about it, and they would like just put a notice on your door like, don't go in here,
Don't
and then
go
people
in
would
here.
just die.
Yeah.
And they'd not even know about it.
It's like in Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Bring out your dead.
Yeah.
I'm not dead yet.
Yeah.
So,
well, that's sort of a morbid topic.
Yeah.
But
Everybody's got to die.
Don't listen to what you read on the internet.
No.
That's,
I think we preached that enough here, but I just thought it was really interesting to watch the spiral of humanity happen.
and how fast
and
it
just
happened.
how quickly everybody is to like. And a lot of people were there just to find out what the truth is, but then like how far do you dig to find the truth? Because I mean, we could start like a whole debate argument what's going on with politics right now, right? This is a synonym to that. I could say, well, I don't trust Fox 13 and KSL,
Right.
I get all of my news from the BBC, and I didn't see anything on there, dude. Like, no, they're not going to report on local Salt Lake City news. But at some point, I guess you just have to have faith that they're not lying to you.
and they are.
Well, I'm sure a lot of
Everyone
times
is.
they are.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Every side of the news. We'll never know the truth.
How do we get the truth, Ches? You listen to this show.
Exactly.
That's right.
And we'll just tell you what the truth is. We don't fucking know.
It might
don't
be
know.
our truth, but
At least you know you're getting our truth.
Exactly.
That's
all that
InSalt
matters.
Yeah, let's start. We got a new company, Kurt. We got to set it up. The Weekly InSalt News Corp. You get our opinion, and you know our opinion is our truth.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But now you can kind of get the idea of how a hive mind of people who can
Little
instantly
lemmings.
access the internet, you're all skewing each other's opinions, you know? And I think that's kind of scary because now nobody sticks to their opinion. They go read a bunch of bullshit and then they're like, that's my opinion now because I read it here or there or wherever.
I read it on Wikipedia.
How about you just form an opinion that you feel good about and that you trust and believe in and then stick to your guns, you know? But don't tell people you're going to kill them if they don't like your same opinion.
Right.
You know? I'm allowed to have a different opinion. Ches is allowed to have a different opinion. I think it was a detonation at the Army Depot. Ches thinks it's like a big 18-wheeler going down I-15. I don't know.
Oh, I was oblivious. So.
I actually did just read that on one of the people commenting on the thing. They said, I thought a semi-truck was hitting my house.
Since that, like, I see that in the news all the time, you know?
That happens every day.
I will say I did think that for a second when the big earthquake hit.
Yeah, and you know what? I live right off of 13th East, and my yard is up above 13th East. Like, so even if somebody were to hit where my backyard is, they would hit a bunch of dirt. But I thought for a second, I'm like, I knew somebody slammed in that wall would happen eventually.
But yeah, for me, so like when the big earthquake happened, it happened on a Wednesday at like 7 a.m., and Wednesdays are my garbage day, and about 7 a.m. is when the garbage trucks start going up and down the road.
Who gets roasted? Are you waiting for it?
No, so like I thought, like my first thought when I heard the earthquake was like,
no, I was talking about the cell phone noise.
Oh,
That was me.
It was Kurt. Oh,
It wasn't me.
You looked guilty at first.
I did because
yeah. I saw her look at her phone, and
I thought it was my phone, but it wasn't.
but yeah, so I thought like a dump truck went askew, and
yeah, you never know. I mean, those probably do have similar feelings. I imagine.
But I only thought that for
also I like
a second or two, and then I'm like, oh shit, nope, that's an earthquake.
Yeah. And that's the normal thought process, but now people take their first judgment to the internet and then stick by it. Like, dude, it's got to be a train or something. I don't know. You know.
I thought it was a UFO.
I actually saw a really interesting map about this. There was a map of the world, and there was marks everywhere that UFOs are reported, and the United States outweighs the rest of the world by like 1,000,000 to 1, dude.
Which is weird.
Yeah,
in
it's
itself.
like, what, do UFOs only fly over the United States?
Yeah.
You know, it's so, I mean, maybe we're just extra curious country. You know, we want to know everything.
I don't want to know everything.
No, I don't either.
There's stuff that's better left unknown.
Ignorance is bliss sometimes, for sure. Speaking of knowing everything and adventures, and summer's almost over, so this is the last time we'll talk about off-roading.
Maybe.
Maybe.
But I'm also going to make a point about this. For some reason, when I tell people, like, hey, I went off-roading, I don't know if this is off-road culture or something, but they have to immediately tell me why the off-roading I was doing is not off-roading.
But it wasn't done on a road.
They're like, oh yeah, dude, the off-roading you're doing is nothing compared to what I do in Moab. Well, first of all, that's called rock crawling.
Right.
And it is also not on a road, so that's definitely the same category that I'm in, not on a road. So I've decided that I'm just going to say, we're just going to say adventures on not a paved road.
Yeah.
You know? I don't know.
Off-highway adventures.
Have you ever gotten that from people? Have you noticed when you tell people, like, oh, I've been doing some off-roading, do people always tell you, like, oh, dude, I'll tell you about off-roading?
I don't know. I mean, you technically, there are trails. That could be a road.
But it's damn it, Ches.
Damn it. We went off-roading yesterday.
We did.
Yes.
We did.
Yeah.
I would say those trails, I mean, that's a road.
Yeah, but it's off-highway. So should we call it off-highwaying?
Yes.
I'm off-highwaying today, guys. But then it sounds like I'm off to go drive on the highway.
Yeah.
We were on not paved
We're on
roads.
dirt. So I was dirt roading yesterday. We always get skunked by the rain the last 2 times we've done this. We were in a situation where Laura...
I thought I was going to die.
You thought you were going to die.
I literally had a
Luckily,
panic attack.
I was driving, so I knew I had a little bit of anxiety, but I knew we were going to die.
Dude, I had the shakes for like 30 minutes afterwards.
We got
I
stuck in the
literally
rain.
almost cried.
If any of you know this area, it's down by Mount Pleasant. We were up on Skyline Drive area at the top of the mountain there. Off of highway, what was it, 31?
31 or 40.
Yeah,
31, yeah.
And you drive way back in there on dirt roads by, what was Potter's Pond.
Potter's Pond, yeah.
And we wanted to see if we could connect up through the dirt road and get back down into Mount Pleasant. And we knew it was raining. It hadn't been raining that hard so far.
Mm-mm.
And so we started off up this dirt road from Potter's Pond. We get to almost the point of Skyline Drive, and it's like at this point our tires were just mud. They weren't really tires anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have mudding tires. Dale was with us. He doesn't have mudding tires.
No.
And so this truck in front of us was going uphill. Obviously stopped, put in 4-wheel low, and made it up. And so good for him.
Yay.
But because your anxiety and Dale's first time, we decided to turn around. But Chaz, boy, did he have a lot to say about
Yeah.
that.
I think he thought we were all.
You thought we were pussing out?
I was trying not to say that word.
I was going to say a female anatomy part, often sometimes referred to maybe as a kitty cat.
You guys were meow.
Yeah. But I got to interject really quick here.
Okay.
So I just looked it up. So off highway and off road are interchangeable terms.
Yeah, okay.
They basically both refer to anything off pavement.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we
But
went
I
on
just
paved
feel like when you
surfaces.
tell somebody you went off-road, they've got a story about how much more off-road they've been than you.
Yeah.
Like you're comparing that all the time. Like, well, one time I was in the snow, but there was also mud for some reason, and then it started sleeting, and like I still got out of there, dude. Okay. I'm not really trying to get stuck.
Right.
So I don't really want the story of I got stuck for 6 hours. And second of all, good for you, dude.
Yeah.
Do you feel like
Yay.
you accomplished something?
Now can I finish my story?
Yeah, right. Yeah, so we ended up making the decision to turn around, and we did
did.
get back down. and
I think it
everything
was the
good.
right decision.
But I didn't realize how beautiful that area was up there,
Oh,
number
yes.
one.
Gorgeous.
And how many camping spots there are up there. Don't go up there to camp, though, because it's super busy. Like, you guys won't have any fun up there.
No, don't
We
go.
saw maybe one spot you can maybe put a camper.
Yeah, lots of fields for those of you that like field camping.
Yeah.
We're lying, but
Yeah,
it's our truth.
You're not supposed to tell them.
Oh.
Yeah. There's tons of space up there, though.
The fall colors were so beautiful.
I didn't think that the fall colors were out as much as they were. They were, and honestly, that drive that we did yesterday
On US 6, going up
Highway 6.
Spanish Fort Canyon.
Yeah.
that was one of the first times in a long time that I've actually been like, whoa.
Yeah,
Like
like
I don't
it was-
remember the colors being this crazy.
Yeah, it made the day great.
It did. Yeah, it did. We had to turn around, so it cost us like an extra hour to go back around
True.
through Fairview again to get down to Mount
Yeah.
Pleasant, but
And
that
if,
was
and
cool.
if you try to get up there, don't take Spanish Fort Canyon.
I ran into my uncle when we got to Mount Pleasant.
Yeah.
Oh, true.
How'd that work out?
But yeah,
I don't
I
know.
was talking about the road construction that we ran into.
Oh yeah, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
We thought we were going to be smart by going back through Nephi, and then we got stopped at a one-lane road anyway.
Right.
And we had to wait forever. It's like, yeah, Utah, we
Well,
get it.
Yeah.
We can't go anywhere without road construction.
Okay, next time I know how we go, and we're going to avoid all of that.
Okay,
How?
is it going to be raining?
I don't know,
Okay, if it's raining, I'm out.
but it's going to be all dirt road.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
If it's not raining and it's
Because I know a way to go up over the mountain there and come out down in Levan.
That's cool. Yeah, I would love to do more of that. I really was bummed out that I don't think it rained in the valley. I wasn't here, but I don't think
No,
it
it
rained
didn't.
up here really. It just, and I looked at it when we were leaving, and I warned everybody. I was like, "There's a chance of rain." I told you to bring your recovery equipment just in case.
Oh shit,
you
that's
know?
still in the back of your truck. So
Yeah, we can grab that today. And I've got walkie-talkie for you.
Okay.
That doesn't explode, at least to my knowledge.
yeah, you don't know what I've done to it.
I gotta get that out of my truck.
what? Wait a minute. Exploding walkie-talkie?
So, okay. I guess we can segue to that because I don't want to talk about it for too long. But
Supposedly,
Israel targeted Hamas militants by exploding pagers and walkie-talkies.
Really?
So I guess that they had bought these from Israel or something at some point. If this is all alleged, they were giving them, communication devices, but somehow they had planned to, at some point, turn these into bombs. And so people were at the grocery store. Boom, their hip just explodes. And they killed they injured
this
like
real?
3,000. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And so now Hamas is upset at Israel, saying that basically you just started a war with us if you're going to detonate walkie-talkies and pagers on militants,
Mm-hmm.
So it's just making that area even more tense. I'm not a fan of it, but I don't know the details. I've just read the headlines too. But so yes, there were pagers and walkie-talkies exploding.
I
which
don't
is
watch
scary.
the news ever. Maybe I should watch it every now and then.
Yeah, but
I try
there's
not
nothing
to.
good on
There's
it.
nothing
Really.
good on it. It's not that I don't care. I don't like being depressed.
I just want to make sure that if the world's going to go to shit, that I at least kind of have a little notice, you know, more than it is already.
So you can grab your go bag. Do you have one?
I don't have a go bag because where would I go?
I know, right?
Why would you want to survive through that anyway?
True.
I mean, I arguably would enjoy, like, going off in the wilderness and camping if it's perfect weather. But, like, you know, wintertime's going to really suck ass.
Oh, yeah.
I know.
You better hope you can build a shelter super quick or else you're dead anyway.
Did you ever watch Alone?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it's going to be like.
Yeah,
Those guys are pros, and they
can't do it.
And they
yeah,
can't,
10 days.
Yeah, like...
Is that a show?
Yeah.
Is it 10 days?
No, they go like 30, 60, 90 days.
Yeah, I think they did 100 too, or they were trying to do
like
it. They basically
Is it like
allow
Survivor?
you to... It kind of... No, it's less reality. Or it's more... I guess it's more reality, less, like, drama.
They just drop these guys off in the middle of nowhere. There's 10 people. They drop them off in the middle of nowhere. They have no contact, nothing, and they have...
I think you get to bring 10 things.
Yeah, you get to bring some things with you, but
like shelter and food.
No,
water.
No, not
like
even
flint
that.
and steel.
No
Knife.
No water.
Like you can bring a shovel, a bow and arrow, a knife, something to cook with. But everything else, you're living off the land. You're building your shelter.
And these guys are like people who have been survivalists their whole life, and they'll get out there and like. One guy that I watched, his name's Joe Robinette. He was on the show and he didn't pass it, but he's more than qualified to do it. But he had a flint and steel, and while he was setting something up, like building a shelter, he lost his flint and steel, so he couldn't have a fire now. And then he tried and tried and tried to make a fire and never got it, so he just quit. You know, I'm sure there would be a lot of people that would die if you just got dropped off in the wilderness and you're like, have fun.
Did they know where they were being dropped off at?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like because they could tap out and get rescued at any time. They just weren't allowed to have help from any outside. They had to solely live off the land.
I say you should be able to make a fire rubbing two sticks together.
You can, but I mean, it depends on where you're at too. If you're like in Alaska and it's raining all the time.
The problem is if you can't find food to eat, like squirrels or birds or whatever, then you don't have the energy to rub those sticks together to start the fire.
But that's the other thing though too, is you've got to get a fire going so you can cook that stuff so you have the energy to.
Yeah, and there's been people that have been pulled off of that show for medical reasons.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
They come in and to evaluate them. They're like, you've lost so much weight in your skin and bones.
You gotta go. Yeah, your organs are gonna shut down. That's just crazy, though. I don't know. I would never do that.
Me either. That's on my never-do list, along with skydiving and.
I have slipped out in just a lean-to, like
I've done that
with
too.
Boy Scouts, but you know, like after that one night, it's like we went back to our nice camp and ate Dutch oven dinners. Yeah, it was great.
Although I'll tell you what I want to do on a camping trip is build a sweat lodge.
Yeah. Just classic sweat lodge.
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah. Okay.
So,
how are you going to accomplish that? Do you get to use a chainsaw?
Oh, you can. Yeah.
So you're not. It's not a challenge.
Do you need like scuba equipment to breathe in there or what?
No, it's just like a Native American sweat lodge where it's
just hot as shit in there.
Yeah. It's like a sauna on steroids.
Where do you get your oxygen from? It's all sealed up.
It can't be that tightly sealed.
Yeah.
Right? What does a sweat lodge look like?
It looks like a little tent.
Yeah.
I'm looking. Give me a second. Oh yeah, it's just sticks with like canvas over the top.
Yeah.
And then you just start a big ass fire in the middle.
Yeah, or you just bring in hot rocks.
Or some people do them over rivers too. I've seen that.
Oh yep, this guy's got a sweat lodge built, but it's on fire. So he didn't do a very good job.
No.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. I guess you probably just do move the rocks in. I bet you even.
It's sort of like
bet you'd be pretty
mini
warm.
yurt. It's like a mini yurt.
Yeah. I would spend a night in that, but obviously not keep it so hot that I'm dying. But I'd chill in there.
Yeah, it's something you do it once or whatever.
I mean, got to try everything once.
Yeah.
In my opinion. As long as it's legal, it's safe.
Yeah. There's some. I think it's the Native American culture. They a lot of treatment centers use those.
Yeah.
But with hallucinogens, So like it's like a therapy kind of. I can't remember what it's called, but
Basically have an ego death.
Yeah, they're like, dude, you need to go into the sweat lodge and hit this peyote.
Yeah.
You're gonna see the craziest stuff, but dude, you're gonna come out totally different. Yeah, I won't.
Yeah,
I'm not doing that. I'm out.
Me
They say you can even do it without the hallucinogenics, just being in the sweat lodge. And,
Just because you're so hot.
yeah.
That's where you're kind of losing me. You know? Would you do it?
A sweat lodge?
Yeah.
No, probably not.
You wouldn't sit in there for a while?
I don't like saunas anyway.
Yeah, I don't.
I
like
love
saunas.
saunas. Saunas are awesome.
Yeah.
I wish I had one at my house.
Well, you can get those little ones. Have
Yeah.
you seen those
Well, I
on people's
have.
decks?
Yeah, I have.
Or you can get
Fit
the
like one person. That feels weird. I need at least a big enough one that
Yeah.
a few people can be in there comfortably and you're not all weirded
Right.
out.
I don't see the point of them.
So if you use them regularly, you feel so much better. I don't know how to explain it, but like when I'd go swimming all the time when I was younger, we'd always go sit in the sauna, and we were going like 4 days a week sometimes to swim. We'd always sit in the sauna. But you can dump like eucalyptus oil
Yeah.
on the rocks, and then it's like you breathe in all of, like, it clears your sinuses out. It clears out like your system. You're releasing all your toxins from sweating.
I think last time I was in a sauna, somebody pissed on those rocks.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay, I'm done with this.
yeah. Or you
or they just didn't clean the rocks and they smelled like shit.
or you can buy they make infrared sauna blankets.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, those are supposed to be really good too.
I'd just build a classic sauna. But then you also need like some sort of water nearby, I feel like, because it's always fun to get in the sauna and then go jump in like a normal pool or something.
Get in the hot tub and then jump in the snow and
Yeah,
get
kind
back
of
in the
that
hot
thing.
tub.
Yeah, I think that's why the Russians like sauna so much. Is because they do that all the time. Go sit in the sauna until you can't stand it anymore, and then go dip in the coldest water like in the world. You know?
Do a cold plunge.
Yeah,
I think hot tubs are gross.
that's why we have chlorine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's just like taking a
a bath with a bunch of people.
Mhm.
Yeah, only there's no living thing in the water because chlorine kills everything.
Okay.
But
that's
how
why,
is that much-
also why you shower afterwards
True.
And before.
and before? Yeah, I think a lot of places will force you to do it before.
Yeah. I mean, how is it any different than it's just a smaller heated swimming pool?
Do lakes gross you out or reservoirs?
No,
Okay, because let me tell you a story.
I don't want to know.
I went on a boating trip to Jordanelle, and the water was at I think it was like 40% full, so it had sunk. And the lady, as we're going through the gate, she's like, just don't try to get any in your mouth because the sewage level's really high today.
Oh, gross.
And that's because it was low on water, but that also means that there's actively monitoring sewage levels in all of the reservoirs. So
Yeah.
no matter what, you're swimming in somebody's poop.
Gross.
We brought it back
Yeah.
to poop.
And fish poop and
Yep. Oh yeah,
Why?
not to mention
Why?
that dead
Why?
things in there. Yeah. All right,
I
let's.
think we mentioned poop on every damn episode.
that's our goal.
Yeah, you know what? You have to have a regular cycle to feel normal.
See, we talk about this when you're not
I
around.
bet.
We're like, how are we going to get Laura with poop this week?
Yeah, twice today. We've on that shows you weren't here. We told the audience to keep a running poop tally.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right, we're gonna take a break. We'll be right back. And we're back. Weekly InSalt, episode 328. For some reason, now that we're in the 300s, I want to think that it's always the 200s. Like, I've saved our podcast episodes as like this one will probably make it in as like 238. For some reason, like my dyslexia.
It's not like this file name's already been used.
Yeah, it does. But it was. I think back then it was a different name.
Probably.
Yeah, it might have been. Yeah.
Yeah. We were just talking about a little bit about baseball and Ohtani. If anybody's a fan of baseball, you will know that he broke the world record for the most home runs and stolen bases
In
a single season.
He was the first player in MLB history to have 50 plus stolen bases and 50 plus home runs in a season.
In a single season.
Yeah.
Which I was watching the game where he broke the record, and I think that the other team, like, they talked before and they were like, look, this is going to be like a world record,
Right.
you know, and it's a big record for him. And I don't know, but I could see them being like, just let him get an extra couple bases.
Yeah.
He was still, every time he got to first base, he was stealing, and they were trying to catch him, you know,
Yeah.
but I think that they just knew that they probably talked before the game, and they were like, Ohtani's going to steal every base he can tonight. He's going to try to hit a home run off of everything.
Well, I believe he already had his 50 stolen bases.
He might have.
He
yeah.
did.
So he was trying to get over that 50 home runs.
I think, did he get to 51? or something? Was that the actual record?
Let's see here.
I think it was 51 home runs, 51 stolen bases. Because
so as of September 21st, it recorded 52 home runs and 53 stolen bases.
Okay, yeah, so that's like 52s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That guy's crazy.
He is crazy.
Dude.
And he's
a fucking pitcher.
Yeah,
primarily.
that's the crazy thing is you never get a pitcher in the MLB that can hit well, you know?
Yeah.
It just never happens.
And I was really surprised. We looked up his age the other day.
Oh, yeah.
Because I thought it was super young, but I think he's in his 30s.
I think he's 30, mid-30s or early 30s. He looks like he's like 25.
Yeah.
But that's only because he's of Asian descent. And they are blessed with being...
By saying of Asian descent, does it make it any like...
Less.
Well, they are known for looking incredibly youthful.
Well, let's not call them they.
They.
They as in the Asians.
The Asians.
And sorry I brought it up
They are
now.
also good at math.
They are. Yeah. But I am too. Oh, my goodness. So sad. Like fall's here, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I am bummed out about that, too.
Winter's going to be here. Camping's going to be gone.
Yeah, today's the first full.
And there's only 8 days of regular baseball season left.
Yeah.
Super sad.
Regular season, though, then we got playoffs.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. Playoffs are when it gets exciting.
It does.
Because now you got a lot on the line. If you guys don't remember in a previous episode, Laura she made a bet before the baseball season even started this year on the Kansas City Royals to win the World Series.
Yes.
Which you should have parlayed it. You should have said win the playoffs and then the World Series.
The difference, it wasn't that much in winnings. No, I'm out for the big bang. You know.
Yeah.
$100 bet, 11,500 to 1.
Yeah, good ROI if it happens.
When
it happens, you're right.
You.
Are they still doing a really good job?
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen their standings. Are they?
They're playing right now.
Yeah, they're going to be.
They'll be in the
already
playoffs.
in the playoffs. Yeah.
Yeah.
So rooting for you. We'll see what happens. It's too bad you guys didn't let me not make the bet for you again this year. We could have much better content.
Well, yeah, because that one almost bit you in the ass.
It almost did, but I just saved you money. So
you did.
Yeah, I was sweating a little bit when they went to the World Series. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, Diamondbacks last year.
I don't know. I think that the Royals have a very good chance to make it.
They do.
I don't know what other team they're gonna play against, though. I'm trying to think.
It's TBD at this point.
Well, I know, but I'm just making a prediction. Who do you think it would be? I think that I don't know. I don't even know off the top of my head. Because the playoffs, I mean, everything goes. There's upsets in the playoffs.
Yeah,
things get crazy.
Well, they're still fighting for a wild card spot.
Yeah, there's one left.
Yes.
Well. Yeah, Kansas City's still looking for a wild card player.
Yes, they are.
So
Okay.
And Detroit and Minnesota are both no games behind. They're tied, so they're fighting.
Yeah.
They're fighting for a spot.
So it's anybody's game.
It is anybody's game.
But I believe
let's go Royals.
I believe Detroit's got the tiebreaker though.
Yeah.
That's the extent of my baseball knowledge. We've tapped it completely.
And me too. I'm looking.
And I'm super sad I didn't make my regular annual bet on my Mets.
Why?
Because
what's your regular annual?
I usually bet on them too.
Yeah, to win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That'd be crazy if the Royals. Yeah, I guess can they?
They're looking really good for the playoffs.
Yeah,
the Mets are. So
yeah,
they're fighting with the Braves, but the Braves are 2 behind them right now. So.
Yeah, the last couple of games that we've seen the Braves play have not looked very well. They haven't been playing very well.
So if somehow, miraculously, the Mets pull it off and win the series, that means I should probably never bet on them again. Because I forgot this year, and every other year I do, and they haven't won.
Yep, that's true. I've always heard that the rule is, too, from a lot of people, like you never bet on your own team. Because then you're betting with emotion.
Yeah.
Because you want them. And I think that's probably like a per game bet, you know? Because I've gone down to like Mesquite or Vegas and like, oh, Green Bay's playing. I like Green Bay. I'll bet on them to win. And it never works. Because I don't look at the game. I'm just like, ooh, my team.
Yeah. So if the Royals do pull it off, I sort of have to either buy dinner for Zach or I don't know what, because he and
Yeah.
I strategize every year.
Yeah,
So,
true. And that guy knows a lot about baseball.
He
I'd love
does.
to get him back in here
yeah.
just to talk about baseball. And we've been throwing around an idea of him us doing a live episode with Zach where we tell you to turn your TV on to a specific baseball game and press mute, and then Zach commentates the game.
Oh, that would be fun.
I think it'd be so cool because he's just hilarious anyway. And then on top of that, you can hear all of his opinions about the players
his
and stuff.
Statistical knowledge of stats for
Crazy.
baseball is ridiculous.
Yeah, we would do the World Series. If we can do the live thing, we just anybody watching, we would just tell them to list a year between 1950 and now, and he can tell you exactly who won
And
the
who
World
they played
Series
against.
and who they played with, and a lot of times,
And the score.
a lot of times, crazy dude.
Yeah, that's
And I've met another person like that, but with history. Like I could give him a year, and he could tell you all the major historical events that happened that year, because his dream was to become a history teacher, you know, and he ended up, I think. He's like, his teachers don't make shit, so
They
I
don't.
know something else. But
Which is
he
sad.
still retained all that knowledge and loved to absorb it. And we would quiz him all the time, like 1960, you know, and he'd be like, boom, 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 boom. Like, these are all the major things that happened. I'm like, what? Like, I have a hard time
So he'd be
remembering
like
what
your
happened
phone
in
a
the
friend.
week. Yeah, totally. There's just weird. People just have that weird thing sometimes, you know. I'm horrible with dates. Like, I don't remember any birthdays. Like, my whole family knows it. You know?
that's why you've got them all written on your fridge.
I've got them written on my fridge, and that still doesn't work. You know, I just don't look at the fridge.
You put them in your phone.
I've
so
got
it
them in
does
my phone
remind
now.
you.
Yeah, your phone. The phone is really helpful for me because it will like pop up in messages now and say it's so and so's birthday. Just send them happy birthday. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, cool. And for a while, it was like Facebook would do that, but I'm just so sick of Facebook. I don't even get on there.
Yeah.
What's
you know?
Facebook?
Yeah, I don't know. You've been off it for years.
Yeah.
I very rarely get on Facebook.
I'll like pull it up every now and then, I regret it because I'm like, I don't
Yeah.
really care about anything, like any of this.
I don't TikTok. I
Yeah, I don't
barely
either.
Instagram, or Reddit for that matter. So
Yep. Kurt's our resident TikTok expert.
Sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, even if you use it once a day, you use it 100% more than all of us, I
Same.
think, in the room.
I can't remember the last time I was on TikTok.
I've been on there to like look at our TikTok account, but TikTok's a weird animal. Like, don't go on there thinking you're like there is stuff on our TikTok account, but like we tried doing that and uploading it and stuff like that, and you have to have a very specific way to hit the algorithm, you know, and.
We're not smart enough to figure that out.
I'm sure we are smart enough to figure it out, but I don't think that anybody in this room wants to make it their full-time job to figure that out, especially when you're not making any money, you know?
Well, I realized that, we'd upload one of our videos and we'd get like 800 views, but that's not really a view. It's like somebody looking at it and then immediately swiping up in a half a second.
Hey, as long as it played, I don't care. If numbers, if the number's what gets me money, I'm down.
Well, sure, but it's like missing the point
Yeah, it is, but
because it's not really a view; it's just a glimpse.
But if I get paid off the views, I don't care if you glimpse it or not. If it shows up in your feed, and we can sell advertising, then we all get paid. But then we have to support the one evil thing that on this show we all don't like, which is advertising.
Yeah.
But it's a necessary evil. I mean, think about all the things that advertising does make happen.
Makes
NFL,
me mad.
Baseball, basketball, any major sporting
I hate
event.
ads.
That's how they get so much money from them, you know? Have you ever watched a commercial for a fast food place and then went and got it?
Mm-mm.
You've never seen a Taco Bell ad and then later on in the day you got Taco Bell?
No.
I'm going to call bullshit.
No, I haven't.
Subconsciously, you don't think you ever have? You're not going to Popeyes because you saw a Popeyes commercial
No,
the
I'm
other day?
going to
Think it sounds
Popeyes because
good?
it's on my way home. I have Arby's, Popeyes.
Yeah, there's Arby's. There's like everything.
Taco Bell.
Yeah. Why Popeyes today?
I don't know because I had Taco Bell yesterday.
Okay. Yeah.
No, 2 days ago.
I mean, there have been a couple
don't eat
times where
out.
like...
Fast food very much, but
Yeah, I try not to because it just gets expensive. As cheap as it seems, like eating at McDonald's for every meal is probably not really that much cheaper.
no, not really.
Especially because you're paying every single time. You know, why don't you just go buy a big thing of frozen hamburgers?
Yeah.
Make them at home.
Would you consider what we had yesterday in Mount Pleasant with fast food?
No, I would consider that
restaurant food.
more like diner food kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. but it was also like, oh, dude, it was so good.
Exactly.
Like, it was not, you didn't go there because you want to be healthy. And I think that being in a small town, I think they still kind of hold on to those old traditions that get lost in a big city, which
What was
is.
the name of that place? I'm going to shout them out because their food was
I'll
delicious.
have to look it up on the map.
Yeah, that's what I was.
But I think they hold on to, you go out there as a treat because you're in a small town. It's like you go to the grocery store, you cook at home, you eat dinner with the family, but after like your son's football game or something, you take everybody out, the family out to that place to get you know, a shake and a
Rogers Dairy Freeze.
That's
Rogers
what it was.
Dairy Freeze.
Yeah.
I wish
In
I would
Mount
have tried
Pleasant.
their ice cream.
I kind of wish that too, but I didn't for since I was a kid. We'd be in Mount Pleasant all the time, but then like between I'd say high school age and like now, never really ever went to Mount Pleasant. We've been there like the last 3 years in a row, pretty much. I think. And it's awesome. I love driving through there and stopping, getting some food, or just like.
Did you go to that Triangle Lounge?
No, we did. We go to the Triangle Lounge. I wanted to, but like Drew and other people definitely did not.
No.
And it's fine.
So-
that place is awesome.
I want to talk about what happened because it was so weirdly coincidental
Yeah.
about your
Ran
Uncle?
into my uncle.
Uncle?
Yeah.
at the
My-
the little park.
My grandpa has a park in Mount Pleasant. I'll see if I can find. It's so hard to find on the map even. But there's a park in Mount Pleasant that's named after him, and there's a plaque there that tells you a little bit about him. And we were driving past, and I noticed there's like this brand new Corvette like parked in front of the
Really
park,
nice
and I'm like, huh, cool. And so we get out, and I'm like, you guys haven't like seen it? Go come check it out. So we walked over, and these people got out of their car like, can you take a picture of us? We want to take a picture in front of this plaque. And I was like, well, I think Dale or somebody said like, well, if you're taking a picture in front of the plaque, you guys are probably all related.
That was me.
It was you, yeah.
Like, yeah, we just came and cleaned up Grandpa's.
You're like, you guys
plaque
are probably all
here.
related. And
I'm like, well, then
yeah.
you guys are all related.
It was my uncle, yeah. My dad's brother was there, and you know, we don't see them all the time. I think, you know, usually like weddings and funerals and things like that. But it was really weird that we happened to be right in that spot at the same time.
Considering they're from the Salt Lake area too.
Yeah.
And there were so many things like didn't listen to me and my driving instructions, and we wound up taking lots of wrong turns. And
She's still stuck on that, dude.
I was following, like, okay, she wanted to go to the south end of the lake. I got us to the north end.
Yeah.
So,
but nowhere else. You couldn't get anywhere else from the north end.
well, we didn't go exploring enough to really find out. I think we could have.
Oh, we got to go back.
Exactly. I think I found a road that I think would have got us through. I don't know what that road condition would have looked like, but
Yeah, that was where the main rainstorm hit too.
yeah.
So yeah, just the series of happenings.
Well, yeah, and if
And
we
then
wouldn't
the
have gone,
delay and
yeah, the
coming back
delays, the rain
down.
coming down, yeah, and I think I didn't really understand if they were there restoring the plaque that day, and so maybe they were there for a while,
yeah.
but I don't know.
I don't know.
It was still cool, and so like I can't even go to Mount Pleasant without running into somebody I know. You guys can't take me anywhere.
Yeah.
But Rogers Dairy Freeze, man,
Yeah. Shout out.
Yeah,
I
so if
think
you're ever
that-
to Mount Pleasant, it's worth it.
I've had this idea for a while, and we've talked about this, but it's going to cost money, and you're going to have to spend the night or 2 nights or whatever. But I still want to go to like random small towns and just try like their small town restaurant and
Yeah.
visit their small town bar. Because
Yeah, it's
one
fun.
thing about the Triangle Lounge, which is the bar in Mount Pleasant, is there's not any other bars around there. And when you go in there, they all know each other. So immediately they know you're from out of town.
Yeah.
And chances are they're all sick of each other. So you're going to hear a lot of cool stories.
Yes,
when
like
you
the
go in
time we
there.
went.
Yeah, and we just like all of them were just talking to us and telling us about their little interpersonal relationships with
Yeah.
each other. Like the one guy that's always drunk at the bar and getting in trouble. Like they were just tearing him up. He's like, yeah, whatever, not today, guys.
Yeah.
You know? It's like you can tell they just
You
spent
bring
so
your
much
dogs
time
inside.
together.
There was a bar dog in there.
Yeah, yeah, there was.
Here's where we need to go. One weekend just for one of our adventures.
Okay.
We need to go up to the Shooting Star Saloon,
Where's that at?
in Huntsville.
Huntsville. Okay.
It is the oldest continuously operating bar in Utah.
It looks old.
So
Oh, there's a ton of pictures on here. Oh, it's classic dive bar. Dollar bills all over the place, all over the ceiling. Hanging from the ceiling. Like, there's not any more room to put money on the ceiling there.
I want to go on a little trip and do some of the diners. I can't even say it.
Diners,
Triple D. Yeah, I want to go to some of those in Utah and check them out myself.
You can get to, there's 2 right around here. Tin Roof Grill and Moochie's.
I've been...
Moochie's?
Moochie's was on Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. It's on the list.
Oh My.
Was Oh My on there too?
Yeah, Oh My has been on.
The Burger Bar, Red Iguana, Moochie's.
There's a place in Mill Creek
Lone
that
Star.
they just did too.
Oh, Lone Star Taqueria is on there
Yes.
too. Huh.
Oh, yeah, that
Ruth's
place is really
Diner,
good.
Pat's Barbecue, Sammy's Bistro, Oh My,
Oh My.
Maxwell's, the Silver Star Cafe, the Tin Roof Grill, Finn's Cafe. Ruska's Klosch's is on there.
That's probably why it's so busy.
Oh my God! No wonder I was so mad yesterday.
Yeah, Laura tried to go there before we went on our adventure yesterday.
I remember hearing that it was on that show.
Curry Pizza Proper.
Proper Burger.
Yeah, Laz's Kitchen.
Lizzie's Kitchen.
Lizzie's.
Oh, I saw that online, and I
Whiskey
didn't.
Treat, Purgatory, Mamo's, Cajun Grill. Oh, lots of places.
Yeah.
Okay.
Isn't that crazy that that show has been on TV for so
Wow.
long that there's that much just in Utah?
Just in
Yeah.
Utah. Huh.
Shows we got some good food here.
They probably subjective.
Probably. All right. That's it. Oh, no, there's freaking...
I want to see how long it's going to take to get to this Shooting Star Saloon, dude.
I'd say hour and a half.
Hour.
Hour?
Yeah. Oh, that's not bad. It's, as usual, all freeway.
Yeah, you just go up Ogden Canyon.
It's I-15 through Ogden Canyon, yeah.
So, yeah.
But I'm talking about, like, Kurt and I did this when we went down to St. George. We were in Mesquite at the time. We were just sitting there like, what should we do? You know, we're got nothing but time. We're on vacation. And we found this. Remember we started looking at Google Maps and we found that one bar that's just out in the middle of nowhere. There's like nothing around it. It's like towards the Valley of Fire almost. But there's just this place. And we were like, dude, this place looks so cool. But do you really want to drive another 2 hours just to go? You know, you'd have to prepare yourself. You'd have to do it like for an actual trip.
Yeah, so there is a bar. Let me pull it up here.
Like the less known it is, the more I want to go there. If it's like, oh, this is such a well-known dive bar in this city, I don't care. I want to go to a place that nobody has heard of.
This place is a happening place.
I want the same guys there every day that got the coolest stories to tell. You know what I'm saying? Laura knows. What
Yes.
I'm, yeah.
Yep. Really small town.
I found one of the, like, let me zoom in on one of these random places, like outside of Evanston or something. A town called Almy. Let's see if they have anything. Oh, well, it's debatable whether or not that's a town.
So yes, you got the
It was the Kobe Japanese restaurant that was on Dinans.
There was yeah.
Yeah.
That was also on there. Oh, cool.
So you got the,
yeah, it's on the list. I just quit reading because there were so many. I didn't realize there were so many.
so you got the Nellie E Saloon
Okay.
bar, but this is down Parker, Arizona.
Okay.
So basically right on like the Arizona, Colorado, or Arizona, California border. But this bar is only open from Labor Day to Memorial Day on the weekends.
Very specific.
And it's, you know, they have like a water tank for all their water. Places run completely on solar power, so it's only open from like noon to dusk. So
Yeah, that'd be cool.
but it's a pretty cool little place.
Just past Evanston, there's a place in, I think it's Uri, not the name of the town or something. There's a place called the Golden Buckle.
The Golden Buckle. I bet there's a lot of fights in that bar.
It's just a building with a shitty sign on the front of it. But it looks awesome, you know, like, dude, you know, and there's the picture they have online is of a car show out front.
Oh,
and I'm
yeah.
like, you know that the people in there got stories. There's two old dudes sitting out front on opposite sides of each other, so you know they're just not, maybe there's the guys that are just there for the car show.
Probably.
Yeah. I was like, you know that they've got some beef, but they don't. They're just there.
They're
to
just
watch
there.
the cars. I think it'd be fun. And then do something like silly, like I still want to do this, but go to Soda Springs because it's the one place where you can drink carbonated water out of the earth.
Really?
Yeah. And probably not the only place, but it is one of the places that you just bring a cup and then you walk down there and there's a little spot that you can just fill up your cup.
Doesn't sound very sanitary.
Where do you think spring water comes from?
I don't know.
Out of the ground. It's just a natural spring, but it happens to be carbonated because of, I don't know, the gas underneath it or whatever carbonates the water on its way up.
There's a natural spring that comes right off the side of the road up Big Cottonwood Canyon.
There's one in Salt Lake City, too.
Yeah. But I mean, that one,
that's called the tap.
No.
That's just called your kitchen faucet.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
No.
Down there
I'm just kidding.
Down there by the Virgin Mary tree. But yeah, there's the one at Big Cottonwood Canyon.
In Moab.
Yeah, they're all over the place.
Oh yeah, there's what is it? It's like springfinder.com.
Of course there is.
Of course there is, yeah. Yeah, I've drank spring water before. It's awesome. I would like to drink like glacial runoff too. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Because you're getting it from like the source of where the water is, and probably not a lot of bacteria in there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to do what the lady did who was totally unprepared that I passed in Zions National Park, where she walked by and was like, do you have any water? We didn't bring any with us. She's on like a 5-mile hike.
A 5
with
mile
kids.
With no water?
And she's like, we don't have any water. We ran out. And I was like, this is the last hike of the day. I don't have any left in my pack. Like we're on our way out. And she looks over and there's this tiny trickle running down the side of a rock that's covered in moss and grass and stuff. Yeah. And she's like, do you think it'd be okay if the kids drank this? I'm like, no. Absolutely not.
No.
Not only would it not be okay, your vacation will be ruined.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, really? I'm like, you can take. You don't have to take my word for it.
And then bring toilet paper.
And then I think like, right? Because water's not the only thing you're going to need on the way back.
That's right.
But yeah, I just can't believe that sometimes
somehow
people are like, what?
Went right back to poop.
Yeah.
You were the one that said it this time. I wasn't going to go there.
there.
I'm sure that it does more than just that, too. You
Yeah.
probably puke a lot.
Probably. All right.
Chaz, you're feverishly typing away over
I
there.
know,
Like,
what
Yeah,
do
I'm
you do?
trying to find
something
these springs.
He's on springfinder.org.
Yeah.
You have to sign up because it's 18 plus.
Right.
Yeah.
He's all, just have to validate my ID real quick, guys.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
So Big Cottonwood Spring. I mean,
There's probably millions around here because it's all mountains.
Yeah,
True.
so you just go up there, and like it just come right off the thing, and it's right there. And you just stick your water bottle up there and fill it up. It's actually really good water.
I think that Utah, I've said this before, we have the best, like one of the best waters because we're at the top. We're at the source, right? We're in the mountains. I love the way our water tastes. I've been places like LA where it's like, don't even trust the tap water, you know? I've been to, in other countries, they're like, they have signs that are like, do not drink out of the tap.
Yeah.
That's the worst when you go on vacation and then the first day you eat something and then you're just sick. You're like, oh my gosh.
Like, I didn't drink any water. Did you have ice cubes?
Yeah, true.
You know?
Did you have ice?
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, there's one right on the. There's a spring at Liberty Park.
Yeah.
Oh, no way. Huh.
Yeah, Liberty Wells Spring. And then there's the other one that's the Virgin Mary tree.
Yeah. Chaz is just digging it. He just becomes the spring expert, dude.
That's actually just on the north end of the park.
Do you think that this website exists as a tool to help people find water, or do you think it exists as a tool for somebody who's really into springs and they're like, I'm going to visit all the springs in Salt Lake?
Find water.
Yeah.
There's probably some crazy person out there that loves seeing all natural springs.
Has been to every natural spring in the United States.
Think about like
I think that'd be impossible.
You're probably right.
Well,
but you think about geocaching. Like people hide things and then they put it on this map.
Have you ever found one?
Yeah, we did
They're
up
cool.
at Strawberry last time we were
Yeah,
up there.
we
found 2 of them.
Yeah, when we went on our camping trip.
Yeah.
We found a couple.
There was one that was right by a sign that we drive past every time we go, and we looked around for a minute. I think it was all cracked and like water had gotten in there and stuff.
Have you ever found one of those cool little painted rocks?
What do you?
That people paint them and leave them in certain places.
Oh, really? No, I've never heard of that.
I found one.
What are they for? What do they signify?
I don't know. I just think they're cool.
Yeah, I mean, at what point do you consider littering a thing? I mean, for geocaching and painting rocks.
Yeah.
Is painted rocks littering? Is that
I would say that that's not something that's naturally in nature. So maybe. But a geocache, you're putting in like a little pill ball or whatever, and you're stashing that somewhere in nature. That
So
would
I'm
be
gonna paint a bunch of rocks and just write obscenities on them and just throw them around.
Could you imagine you're walking through the forest on this trail and you just come across this big rock that you're like, this is cool. You pick it up and just says shit on the back.
Okay.
Somebody's found this rock before. I don't trust it.
I'm trying to Google why. Oh, people have painted rocks to brighten people's days, strangers' days.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
My goal is to not brighten your day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But
Kurt's just like sending out these hateful messages.
So here's
to
the
people.
other part of that sentence.
Are you having a good day? Let me fix that for you.
Yeah.
People leave behind painted rocks to brighten strangers' days, but in national parks, they're fueling controversy and lessen civil debate.
Yeah, I could see that. Because I could see people like,
Yeah.
don't be painting like little pebbles and putting them in a national park. Because I went
Well,
there
it's
to
actually
see.
illegal, and they're considered trash
Oh,
in
there we
national
go.
parks.
Yeah.
In state and national parks, it's illegal to hide them, and they're considered trash.
I wonder, I bet the same thing goes for geocaches. You probably can't leave them in a national park or state park.
I'll let you know in a second.
Yeah, because like when you do a geocache, you're supposed to go onto that site and then log where
Register
you're
it.
putting it and register it.
Yeah, you put something in and take something out.
Yeah, or you just sign a log or whatever
Yeah.
saying you found it. And maybe that's different because you're like logging where you put that. So
Yeah.
maybe that's a loophole or a way to get around the trash law is that if you ever don't want any of these in your place, then you know exactly where to go find them.
Yeah.
You can go get them all. Never thought we'd hit that topic on
I
our
know.
show.
Okay.
Whether or not
So they
painted
are
rocks.
also Geocaches are also illegal
Yeah, okay.
in national parkland, wildlife refuge,
Yeah, refuge.
military installations, or school property.
I could see that because
Yeah.
you don't want some
Mm-hmm.
random person wandering into like Hill Air Force Base. I'm looking for a geocache, guys. Like, calm
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
That might not end well.
Yeah, I know there's like museums that'll have them, and
Yeah, and that makes sense, you know. That's interesting. And
Yeah.
I just didn't, not until right now would I've ever thought of those as like trash, you know. But I guess it makes sense. Like when I'm out in the wilderness, I would kind of be mad if I saw bright orange rock. Like, come on, man.
No, they're cutely painted, like a
Oh,
I don't know, like a
put, face-
ladybug,
Oh,
or
okay.
you know what I mean.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
they paint. They're just not painted.
They're
with
like
solid
wild
color.
pet rocks.
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
exactly.
I guess I wouldn't be that mad if I found a rock painted on it because I found weirder things at campsites, you know? People leaving behind just crazy things. The last, second to last time we went camping at Strawberry, Kurt got up there first and he said, you wouldn't believe what was in the fire pit. It was a whole garbage bag just full of shit.
It was all
Yeah.
glass and cans.
Glass and cans and all melted down. And
Yeah.
I guess,
Take your garbage with you.
yeah, please. Make it nice for the next person.
Or make sure that fire's hot enough that it destroys everything.
Yeah. But if you put a bunch of cans in there and they all melt, it's not going anywhere but to the bottom of the fire pit
Yeah.
until it dries, cools off. But whatever, back to the earth, I guess.
Ashes to ashes, dust to dust, right?
Right. All right. Well, I don't have anything else. I think
Me
we'll call it a day. This has been the Weekly Insult. That's like is that a new signature now? Is we all old grown when we get out of the show?
Did I groan?
Yeah, Chaz did too. Chaz like did a yawn thing. He's all.
Finally, we're done.